Well, there are chilling new questions today about the death of award-winning journalist Michael Hastings. Hastings, who is best known for a critical Rolling Stone article that led to the resignation of General Stanley McChrystal, was killed in a fiery car crash early last week. But now we're learning that just hours before the crash, Hastings sent a panicked email to colleagues. Well, you decide whether it's panicked. Saying that the FBI was investigating him. It read, quote, "Hey, the feds are interviewing my close friends and associates. Perhaps if the authorities arrive at BuzzFeed headquarters, it may be wise to immediately request legal counsel before any conversations or interviews about our news gathering practices or related journalism issues. Also, I'm onto a big story and need to go off the radar for a bit." End quote. Ali Gharib is a reporter for the Daily Beast and a friend of Michael Hastings, and he joins us live by phone. Ali, thank you for being here. So last week, after Michael died at age 33 in this car crash, they said 100 miles an hour and driving recklessly, and would have had to be, the internet exploded with a bunch of conspiracy theories saying this was the government, this was somebody who was out to get him, this was somebody who was the target of a story because it didn't sound like Michael, and they thought it was a little too convenient. That was before this email surfaced where he said he was onto a big story, needed to go off the radar for a bit, and was warning his friends that the FBI, he believed, was investigating him. As his friend, what do you make of it?
I really don't know what to make of it. I mean, I never spoke to Michael about these things, so I'm taking it all with a grain of salt so far. And I'm not really inclined to kind of comment one way or the other about it. I just don't know. We hadn't spoken for about a week and a half before Michael's passing, and he had never mentioned to me that the FBI might have been investigating him or not. So I don't know what would have prompted him to think that. And I really have no idea.
Did you know him to be, a reckless guy at all? Because they say he was going so fast that the engine of his car was found more than 100 feet away from the crash, and apparently there was a random photographer who was on the scene soon after, and that photographer caught footage that shows Michael allegedly speeding through a red light, even though no one was pursuing him. I mean, does that sound consistent with the man you knew?
I mean, I don't think that he was a reckless person. I mean, he certainly took care, and he was a war reporter, and he knew how to take care of himself. But that doesn't mean he might not have been driving excessively fast. I don't think that's something that would be such a wild situation for him to be in.
Okay, that's interesting.
Passing a red light late at night, it's not like exactly extraordinarily unusual behavior.
Yeah, because this happened at 4:30 a.m. on a Tuesday, involving his Mercedes slamming into a tree, and then it burst into flames. This is the aftermath that we're seeing now. Now, in this email that he sent to the friends, again, he claims that the FBI, the feds, are interviewing his close friends and associates, but the FBI says at no time was he ever investigation by us. There is a report in the LA Times today suggesting that he was, at the time he died, researching a story about a privacy lawsuit brought by that Florida socialite Jill Kelly against the Department of Defense and the FBI. She was the one involved in the whole General Allen, and was she emailing inappropriately with General Allen, and General Petraeus was having the affair with his autobiographer at the time. In any event, he was apparently researching a story about a privacy lawsuit brought by her. Did you know anything about that?
No, I hadn't talked to that. We talked about the contours of a couple stories he was working on at the time that I probably shouldn't talk about, and let the Rolling Stone and BuzzFeed handle those. But I hadn't heard anything about that. That might have been something that he'd been tipped off to in the intervening week and a half.
Was it anything, and without asking you to disclose the subject matter, was it anything that might cause any particular group excessive consternation?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, so normal sort of, investigative journalist type stories where no one generally loves to be investigated by a journalist, but nothing that raised an eyebrow for you in the wake of hearing that he had died unexpectedly.
No, quite the opposite. It didn't raise any eyebrows at all. It was Michael in the normal course of the work that he does, which is sort of deep reporting on people and events, and I don't think that anything of it would have, I think that when in due time, when we do find out from these publications what these stories were about, I think that it's probably going to put to rest some of the conspiracy theories that are well, put to rest insofar as conspiracy theories can be put to rest, because these things tend to go on forever.
Exactly. And just because they're born on the internet and live and get perpetuated doesn't mean there's any there. But the email certainly added fuel to that fire. And I should mention to the viewers that WikiLeaks actually then also came out and said that Hastings had contacted WikiLeaks lawyers hours before he died, saying that the FBI was investigating him. So we've had a few different, groups pile on and say Michael was worried. And
yeah, as I said, I don't know what to make of those.
I got it, and I thank you for that, for your perspective on that. Thanks for being here, Ali.
It's my pleasure. If I can just add really quickly that I know that Michael was involved with some charities that, if people want to give in his memory, there's the Andy Foundation, which was the foundation named for his late fiancée who passed away in Baghdad in 2007. The death was the subject of his first book, as well as his wife Elise had said that people should give to the Bowery Mission, which does work with homeless people in New York. And also, I know his friend Barbara ran the Global Health Corps, which is a group that puts non-health workers in touch with health workers, mostly in the developing world, to try and form solutions to some of the world's health problems. So if people want to give in Michael's name, I think those are good places to start.
Thank you for that. We appreciate it. All the best. Well, coming up,